shall be discussing the Denver Broncos schedule for the 2025 season. Now, if you guys did not see on my Instagram recently or yesterday, I said that I would be doing a prediction video for every single 32 NFL teams, and we got 31 left today. The first team, obviously, I did was the Atlanta Falcons. That went up recently on my channel a couple days ago. But this one, we're going to be talking about the Denver Broncos. Now, when it comes to how I decided which team I'm going to be doing, I did it completely random. So some days you may see like a team like the Dolphins. Next day you may see a completely different team that's not in the same division like San Francisco. It'll be mix and match, and I believe that there's only 2 days in a row where I'm talking about a team that's in the same division. But I'm gonna leave that as a surprise for you coming up later on. As the NFL schedule will be released in a couple days, I believe in a week or so, probably on May 12th is when the schedules can be released. So when the schedule does get released, it's going to be a lot easier to predict these games because I'll be able to know like which games are coming like specific weeks. But without further ado, let's take a look at the Denver Broncos schedule for the 2025 season. And let's start off with the home games. They got the Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, division games, Jaguars, Titans, Cowboys, Giants, Bengals, Packers. Now, I ain't even gonna lie to you. The Denver Broncos are gonna have a very tough year because their division is gonna be competitive. Jim Harbaugh having his second year with Chargers coach, obviously Sean Payton's the coach of the Denver Broncos, but also having the Kansas City Chiefs who just made it to the Super Bowl, even though they did get their butt whooped. And then we have the Raiders who have Pete Carroll and Geno Smith. Geno Smith is not as good as like a Patrick Mahomes or Justin Herbert, but still with Pete Carroll as the head coach is going to be pretty decent. So that division is going to be pretty close. I expect the team to win this division. I expect the battle for this division to be decided by 1 or 2 wins. So with that being the case, let's take a look at the home games. So the first home game I have right here is the Chiefs. And I believe that the Denver Broncos will always play the Kansas City Chiefs very well at home, and I believe that they're going to be able to beat the Chiefs and pick up the W. Then they're going to have the Chargers at home, and I believe that when it comes to the Chargers game, they're going to win one and lose one, and I'm actually going to have them losing at home against the Chargers before beating the Raiders. And I know I just said the Raiders this division should be competitive, but I can see the Denver Broncos sweeping the Las Vegas Raiders just because their quarterback play is not good, and even though they picked up Ashton Genty is not going to be able to be enough to help them. And Max Crosby, even though he is one of the best star pass rushers on the Las Vegas Raiders, is not going to be enough. The Broncos are going to sweep the Raiders. Then we come to the games that are outside the division. We have the Jaguars and the Titans, who are from the AFC South, and it seems like they're going to be playing the AFC South and the NFC East. NFC East should be at least somewhat easy for them. And then the AFC South is going to be really weird because the only team I can actually see them legitimately beating is going to be the Tennessee Titans because Houston, with them losing Laramie Tunsil, like them going to the draft, it'll be interesting to see. The Jacksonville Jaguars are all in on Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is going to have to perform spectacularly because right now he could be possibly considered a bust, and which is surprising because Trevor Lawrence, when he was in college, he was already projected to be a #1 overall pick. It's just the fact that he's had so many different head coaches in his careers, and I believe that if Trevor Lawrence actually does head to a different system, Trevor Lawrence can be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And then we have the Indianapolis Colts. I believe in Anthony Richardson. I want to see Anthony Richardson do good. So I believe that the Colts are going to be somewhat competitive this year. But when it comes to the 2 home games against the Jaguars and the Titans, I believe that the Denver Broncos are going to pick up both wins. And I think that they got the two somewhat easiest teams in that division because I feel that the Colts, even though the Colts do have Anthony Richardson, they're going to be sneaky competitive in this division. And I just feel like with the Jaguars having a new head coach heading into the season, a new general manager heading into the season, it's going to be really interesting to see how they do. And I just don't believe that they're going to have enough to be able to beat the Denver Broncos and a head coach like Sean Payton. So Denver Broncos are going to win. Then we have the Cowboys and the Giants, the 2 teams from the NFC that they'll be facing at home. Cowboys are a mess right now, and the Giants are a laughing stock. So the Denver Broncos are going to win both these games. And then the last 2 games at home are going to be the Bengals and the Packers. And the Bengals, I can't even lie, if Joe Burrow and that team can start off hot, the Denver Broncos are going to lose this game. And then when it comes to the Packers, I'm going to have the Packers pick up a shock win at Mile High Stadium, in Power Field at Mile High Stadium. So which means the Denver Broncos at home would be losing 3 games in total, which is, to be honest, out of 9 games, finishing 6-3 at home, I say that's pretty good. But let's take a look at the away games that they're going to be playing for the 2025 season. They got Houston, they got the Colts, they got the Chiefs, Raiders, Chargers division games. They got the Jets, random game, and then they got the Eagles and the Commanders. The away games don't look as easy as the home games, man, because the Eagles and the Commanders are going to get a lot better. Debo Samuel, I expect Debo to do a lot better than he did last season in his final season for San Francisco. The Eagles are defending Super Bowl champions, so I'm going to just get those out of the way. Those are going to be 2 losses, and that leaves us with 6 games remaining on the AFC, on the away side. Houston, I'm just gonna say this: Sean Payton has a team getting ready to be well put, and I think that they're just a year away from being legitimately Super Bowl contenders with Bo Nix. But even with that case, Houston losing an offensive tackle and Laramie Tunsil, a guy that protects the CJ shot, that's gonna be a big loss. And the defense is still good enough, and D'Amico Ryans is still a very good head coach. But I'm gonna have the Denver Broncos win against Houston, and yes, that means the final game that they're going to be playing against the AFC South. I have the Denver Broncos winning every single game against the AFC South. I just don't see, even though I said that I would love to see every team in that division do good. I just don't believe they're as competitive or more competitive than the Denver Broncos at this current standpoint in the NFL. Then we have the Chiefs, Raiders, Chargers, and then we have that one game against the Jets. I'm gonna just get the game against the Jets out of the way. I believe that they're going to win. I just feel like the Jets team with the new head coach and Justin Fields is not going to be able to be better enough than Sean Payton and Bo Nix. And Bo Nix really took a step of improvement towards the end of the season last year. And that leaves the 3 division games away. The Chiefs, they're going to lose at the Chiefs. The Raiders, they're going to pick up the win against the Raiders. I just already said that they're going to sweep the Raiders. And then when it comes to the Chargers, I said that they're going to win one and lose one. And I believe that they're going to end up picking up the win against the Chargers for the 2025 season, which means at the end of the season, for Sean Payton and Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos for a 2025 season, I have them finishing with a record of 11-6. And what does that mean? They finished with a one better winning record than they did last year. They finished 10-7 last year, made it to the playoffs, got eliminated by the Buffalo Bills. I don't know who they're going to face in the playoffs, but at the current standpoint right now, my prediction for the 2025 season for the Denver Broncos is 11-6.